Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell the truth about silver. Today is Sunday the 12th of September 2021 and we're looking at the Green Revolution and asking what effect has it already had and will have on the gold and silver markets. So let's take a look. Now firstly, a quick shout out to two videos we produced earlier today. Gold and silver equities and cryptos all fell last week. Why? And where should we be investing now? Links to both of these below. Now we're all aware of the oncoming green revolution. Governments, central banks, investment institutions and private investors are slowly but surely going green. But what does this mean for gold and silver? Well, frankly, one video lasting 10 to 15 minutes will not be able to do this justice. So we thought we would look more specifically at green technology batteries. Why? Simply because we know that in a number of countries, car production is converting to battery-run cars as opposed to gas or gasoline or petrol or diesel-run engines. But what does this mean for gold and silver? Well, possibly not great for gold in the short term. Possibly better for silver, but almost certainly better for other metals and minerals. Now we're going to look at three articles. The first is where a gold miner is actually diverting much of his resources to mining other minerals, as he sees more potential short term. The second shows what metals and minerals are actually used in green technology batteries. And there's not much silver there in truth. And the third is an article by Sprott, highlighting the beneficial aspects for silver and how the green revolution will transform silver demand, mainly, frankly, pushing solar panels and 5G technologies, but also included in the electronic systems of cars, even though its contribution to battery technology will be small, if not almost non-existent. So let's now go and take a look at each of these articles. They're all just a couple of minutes long. Bloomberg article dated 9th of September 2021. Sibanye wants to tap green metals boom as gold deals lack value. By Felix Ngini. Sibanye Stillwater's Limited's deal-making boss said the precious metal miner's immediate priority is to expand in battery metals rather than gold. Some of the biggest mining companies are expanding into or eyeing commodities tied to the green revolution, such as metals used in electric vehicle batteries. Already this year, Johannesburg-based Sibanye struck deals to buy a nickel hydrometallurgical processing facility, try saying that when you're drunk, in France, and acquire a stake in the owner of a lithium project in Finland. That marked Sibanye's first foray into battery metals as Chief Executive Officer Neil Froneman looks to grow and diversify the company. The CEO has already transformed Sibanye from a gold miner focused on South Africa to a giant in platinum group metals by expanding at home and in the United States. At the moment, it's very difficult to find value in the gold sector, he said on an investor call on Thursday. I don't see the gold price doubling or tripling, but I see battery metals doing that in the not-too-distant future. Sibanye is still interested in expanding its gold business in the long term, Froneman said. Earlier this year, he said he was prepared to spend as much as $5 billion on gold assets with an annual output of more than 1 million ounces. The company is also weighing options to develop uranium projects at its Beatrix West and Cook assets in South Africa, where it sees gold output gradually declining from 2025 as commercially viable reserves dwindle. ANN Battery Metals investing news. As the world begins to shift away from carbon-based energy and towards renewable energy, New investment opportunities are emerging alongside advancements in battery technology. The electric vehicle revolution is a key part of this energy transition, and many market watchers are interested in the battery metals that are making it possible. While lithium and cobalt are currently getting the most attention, battery metals like graphite, vanadium and manganese are also popular. A silver-white metal, lithium, is the lightest metal and the least dense solid element. It has skyrocketed in popularity in recent years due to its role in lithium-ion batteries, which are used in major electronic devices like cell phones, laptops, and of course EVs. Despite being difficult to follow in terms of pricing, interest in the lithium market has been steadily picking up. Experts in the space have highlighted the automotive sector as a major driving force for demand as the EV movement continues to propel forward. China is a rising force in lithium production, and outside the major producers, smaller exploration companies have been coming forward to attempt to meet demand. Cobalt, which is mostly mined as a byproduct of copper and nickel, has also risen in popularity lately due to its role in lithium-ion batteries. Aside from that, this hard silver-grey metal is used in alloys for jet engines and turbines, along with magnetic steels. While cobalt prices have stumbled since surging in 2017, many experts agree that demand remains strong. In fact, analysts at Benchmark Mineral Intelligence forecast that demand for the metal could increase 4 times in the next decade. Even so, issues related to the security of the metal supply chain and a lack of investment in the sector continues to be main concerns in the space. The biggest contributor to cobalt supply is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Graphite, a native element mineral that's both a form of coal and the most stable form of carbon. Graphite is known to be a dry lubricant, as the only non-metal element that's a good conductor of electricity. It can be used in lithium-ion batteries as well as in nuclear reactors and the refractory and steel industries. Much like other battery raw materials, graphite pricing can be finicky since it's not traded on an exchange. In general, prices have come under pressure recently due to excess supply, and producers outside China have had to make production cuts to deal with this environment. Vanadium. A silvery grey transition metal, vanadium is predominantly mined as a byproduct of other metals and is found in deposits of siltstone, uraniferous sandstone, phosphate rock, and titaniferous magnetite. It can also be found in bauxite coal and crude oil. The vast majority of vanadium produced is used as a steel additive, as vanadium steel alloys are very tough. In 2019, China took the top spot as the world's biggest vanadium producer, with Russia and South Africa coming in second and third. Manganese, a brittle hard grey white metal. Manganese has a similar appearance to iron and can be used in the production of various items, including dry cell batteries, aluminium cans, and even fungicides and pesticides. Overall, the International Manganese Institute states that around 90% of global manganese output is used for the production of steel and cast iron. It also contributes to lithium-ion battery chemistries such as lithium manganese oxide batteries. As such, hopes are high that demand for the commodity will rise in line with others that contribute to new energy sources. Sprott report dated 17th of February 2021. We live in unprecedented times as the world population grows and industrialization takes hold in more corners of the world. Climate change is accelerating, and in response, humanity's concern for our planet's health is growing. As clean energy initiatives gain traction, greater attention is being paid to the critical roles of various metals and minerals. Access to these valuable materials has become critically important, which is why severe resource-rich nations, including Canada and Australia, have joined the United States in establishing the Energy Resource Governance Initiative, ERGI, an alliance to disseminate best practices for discovering and developing reserves of minerals used to make electric vehicles. Silver plays a critical role in all green revolution discussions. Although renewable power generation and battery storage technologies may conjure visions of cobalt, lithium and nickel, we would argue that silver plays an even more fundamental role across many green energy technologies. We've often discussed silver's role as a real asset, a currency that generally keeps its value through fiat currency devaluation cycles. Through the COVID-19 pandemic, silver has certainly proved its value as a safe haven asset in portfolios, rising 47.89% in 2020. However, we would like to focus on silver's role as an industrial metal, which we consider the market's backbone, given that industrial demand is not as fickle as investment demand. As global efforts to decarbonize and electrify gather steam, we expect three areas to contribute significantly to silver consumption: the automotive sector and electric vehicles, including the associated infrastructure, the solar energy industry, and 5G broadband cellular networks. In January, President Biden signed an executive order setting a goal to transition the US government's fleet of cars and trucks to electric vehicles assembled in the US. As of 2019, the US government owned approximately 645,000 vehicles, about a third of which are used by the US Postal Service. Silver's superior electrical properties make it hard to replace across a wide and growing range of automotive applications, many of which are critical to safety and to meeting increased environmental standards. Silver is found in many car components throughout vehicles' electronic systems. These components include, but are not limited to, conductive paste in automotive glass, circuit breakers and fuses, switches, and relays used to activate varying electronic devices. Importantly, silver is used in a wide range of vital safety features such as airbag deployment systems, automatic braking, and security and driver alertness systems. In addition to higher environmental standards, safety standards worldwide continue to improve and increase the demand for silver loadings. The automotive industry will use approximately 61 million ounces of silver in 2021. And then we go on to the other aspects of solar power and 5G. Our view is that the green revolution will be highly positive for silver. Silver broke out in May of 2020 and reached an 8-year high recently, with silver futures rising, topping $30 in early Feb. We still have a long way to go for silver to reach its 2011 price of $48.70. End of article. Well, interesting, don't you think? The green revolution will, in our view, most certainly help silver. Ironically, it may help gold prices if miners do actually divert resources. It will mean that gold supply could potentially fall, therefore lead to a supply squeeze. But that may be a little too optimistic. We are more interested, though, in your thoughts, so please share them below. And meanwhile, thank you for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign, and have a great day. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management, and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.